Hi everybody, this is Kathy. I thought that I would share my method of applying Color Street nail polish strips. Now I have already done a manicure and I want to dress this one up a little bit, so I'm going to take advantage of one of the clear overlays that have a little design on it. So this is a glitter tipped. This is called Coming Up Rose Gold, and I'm just going to put it on my ring finger. Now I use one piece or one of these little strips for 2 fingers. So I'm going to show you my method of doing that. So the first thing I'm going to do, because you have to, is take off this clear covering, protective covering. That just gets discarded. Then there's a silver tab here, and you just lift up that silver tab, and that gives you a way to pull the strip off of the backing. Now I like to immediately flip it around and put it partly back on the backing, because now I have a nice little anchored method of holding on to it and I don't have to handle it as much. It's actually just fine to touch the sticky part, and you can put it on your finger and then peel it back up if you need to, if it's not placed right. Except now, since I already have polish on here, I won't be able to lift it up. So whatever I do the first time, I'm pretty much stuck with it, but that's okay. And then this little silver piece, if you just pull on it, then it separates from it and you just discard that. And then I'm just going to line it up on my cuticle and basically press and seal. Now I have horrible thumbnails, so a lot of people just use their thumbnails as a tool. So one of the big pieces of advice is to always do your pinkies first and work around your thumbs so that you can use your thumbs as a tool. I don't really have to worry about that because my thumbs are in such bad shape. And then you might notice that when I did my original manicure, I actually have polish on the underside of my nails because I fold over a little bit and tuck it underneath, because as they cure, they're going to shrink up just a little bit and you can end up with the edges of your nails showing through after it shrinks a little bit. So that's just a little trick to prevent that from happening. And then I'm just going to use some little nail scissors and I'm just going to trim a little bit beyond my nail, because like I said, I'm going to fold that over. So then there's the rest of my strip that I'm going to have available to me for my other finger. And so now I'm just going to press and seal. Now you might be able to see I've got just a little bit of overhang over there, so that's where your thumbnail is going to come in handy if you have good thumbnails. Because I don't have good thumbnails, then I'm just going to use my cuticle tool and I'm going to use it to perforate, and I'll come back and clean that up in a minute, but I'm just pressing. And then on this overhang part, I'm just going to also use my tool. You can use your fingers here if you wanted to, but I'm going to fold that excess over, and then I'm just going to kind of press on the underside. It also gives my tips just a little bit of extra strength as well. Now, since this is a glitter design, I kind of have to work a little bit more to get the glitter to fold over with it. And I'll probably, over the next several minutes, I'll keep kind of pressing this over. But again, I'm not going to waste your time showing that to you. There, and I don't know if you could see that little bit right there that was hanging over on my skin, as I pressed it, just came right off. So that's just some excess to get rid of, get it off my hand. Now I may have ended up with this piece being just a little bit shorter because my nails have gotten kind of long. And one of the great things about these strips is that you can stretch them quite a bit. And because I only really need the glitter part, it doesn't really matter if the clear part doesn't go all the way down. Usually it's not any sort of a problem with the strips to get too out of me, but like I said, I've let my nails get a little bit long. So for this one, I'm going to cheat just a little bit and just make sure that I've got glitter on the tips, which is where I want it. And then I'll do the same thing over there. I don't like those little wings that have happened, so I'm just going to trim that up a little bit. I'm right-handed, so doing this with my left hand is always a challenge. And then same thing. I'm just going to bend those over. Okay, you don't really need to watch me do that. So I'll keep kind of working at that for another minute or so just to make sure that they're pressed on there real well. and then give them time to cure. And so now I have dressed up that ring finger so that it goes a little bit better with the rest of my manicure. I hope that helps.